start the webinar in a few minutes. Hello, everyone. Welcome, everybody. My name is Rhea, and I'm part of the marketing team here at Envision, and I will be hosting today's webinar instead of Vanessa, who is on holidays currently. So for today's structure, I will first go over some housekeeping rules. Then there will be a fun conversation between Karthik and our new community superstar, Charmaine. And after that, we will go under the hood with the other Karthik, who will be sharing some exciting updates happening here at Envision. And finally, as usual, we will do a live Q&A where we will do our best to answer all of your questions. So to kick things off, I will start with some housekeeping rules that you probably already know better than me by now. So today's event, as usual, is being recorded and also streamed live on YouTube. And we will do our best to answer as many questions as you have in the last portion of the webinar. And to do that, you basically need to use the raise hand function on Zoom. To access that on your Mac, you use Option Y, and on the Windows, you use Alt Y. And if you're joining us from YouTube, of course, you can drop in your questions there in the chat function. So yeah, I'm super excited about today's webinar, and without further ado, it's time to get to know our new community superstar, Charmaine. So, Karthik, I leave the floor to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Ria. Yeah, it's exciting to be back with another fun webinar for Envision, and also super excited to welcome to this webinar, Charmaine. Charmaine has recently joined us to help further grow the community side at Envision. You probably have already interacted with her if you're in the communities or you've been like writing to us on support. So let me quickly you're welcome Charmaine on the panel. And Charmaine, if you could very quickly introduce yourself so that people who are listening in right now can get to know you a little bit.
Yeah, thanks, Karthik. I'm very happy to be here. And hi, everyone, and welcome to this webinar. My name is Charmaine, as Karthik said. My name is Charmaine Cole, and uh, I'm the new community, and my title is Community and Customer Success Specialist. So what I do here at Envision, I've only started just a couple of months ago, is that I work on the support team, supporting users, as well as help to moderate the community groups that happen on all of our socials. And I'm also totally blind, and I use the Envision glasses in my day-to-day life. And that's it.
Great. So I think Ashame, I would probably want to start off a bit, just to get your viewpoints on, like the technology as it's been evolving. And I want to start off a bit in understanding your background. So can you like give us a bit of an insight about all the work that you've been doing like so far, because I think some of the work that you told me about you've been doing with the braille has been pretty fascinating. So I think our audience would be super curious to understand the work that you've been doing so far, and especially if you could speak to it from a perspective of how technology you or has been a part of it in like the work that you've been doing so far.
Yeah, sure. Well, technology has always been a part of my day-to-day life. As many of you might know, if any of you have been blind since birth like me, ever since I was a kid, I was always taught that there would be uh, this need for me to rely on devices, on technology and assistive devices out there in the world that are designed to help people who are blind or partially sighted interact with the world and get in touch with society and basically live a normal life. And I had a very good itinerant teacher for the visually impaired. She worked with me for about 15 years from when I was 4 until I turned 18. And through that time period, she was the one who acted as like a catalyst to help me learn all the technology. So we basically started with, I grew up reading Braille and I had a very big interest for Braille. So I started with that. And then it went into learning computers and all the different screen readers when I started up at university. After I graduated with my undergrad in 2016, I worked many, many different jobs up until now before I started here at Envision. And all of them followed this path of of assistive technology. They all involved me teaching assistive technology in some way. And somewhere in there, I became Braille transcriber. So I learned to transcribe books from print to Braille. So basically, the work that I did after I graduated was involved two things. One was transcribing books into Braille and proofreading the work of other Braille transcribers who had already made books into Braille. So I was doing that. The other part of my work involved, let's see, I did many different things. So one of them was working as an instructor here. I'm based in Vancouver, Canada. So we have a college here called Vancouver Community College. There is a program in there for people who are visually impaired to enroll in, for adults to take courses. And those courses involved teaching how to use different screen readers like JAWS, VoiceOver, and Braille, how to use all those devices to interact with mainstream programs on computers. Like, so we offered courses with courses on how to use JAWS with Outlook, JAWS with all the Microsoft products, how to use JAWS with all of Google's products, and how to use Braille devices to hear the output, and so that people can also, students who are deafblind can also feel the output coming out of their screen readers using Braille devices. So I did that for a while. And another part of my job that I did before was that I worked at the CNIB for a while. It's the National Institute for the Blind here in Canada, doing the same thing, teaching assistive technologies, teaching Braille and screen readers. So it's a very consistent pattern. And after that, right before I started here at Envision, I worked at a library that's similar to those of you in the States. It's similar to BARD. It's called CELA, the Center for Equitable Library Access. I worked there, and there I worked as a trainer, teaching people technologies. Again, how to use different audiobook players or apps to listen to the talking books that we offer. And I did a lot of work on testing books that were added to their Braille collection. So they added about 20,000 titles during the couple of years that I was there, and I got a chance to test those books for quality and accuracy before they went into the collection. So everything that I've done basically is based on this idea of helping people learn how to use their assistive technologies to enhance their experience of the world and to make their life as rich and meaningful as possible. And I did that through teaching them how to use Braille and how to use assistive technologies, because I believe that everyone should be able to, read and write if they can in Braille. And also, and if that doesn't work for them, then I believe they should be able to, that anyone should be able to learn to use the technology that works for them to do what they want to do in their life, right? Whether it's work, whether it's play, whatever it is. So yeah, that's my answer.
Awesome. I think that I think that's pretty fascinating, and like I think that also like leads me to the stuff that you've been doing now, which is basically a lot of your time has been helping our customers of Envision understand artificial intelligence and all this new like generative AI and smart glasses and all of that innovative stuff that's been happening. It's on the more I would say it's on more a futuristic end of what assistive technology has been. So how is your experience has been at Envision? Like you've been here for I think about a month now. So what's your experience has been talking about this and your like new age assistive technology, the whole landscape of generative AI and wearables? How has been your experience talking about that with the customers here?
Well, I'm literally having the time of my life here, and I say that without any kind of exaggeration whatsoever. So the team members will notice, and even the community members will notice, that long after hours are over, I'm still looking at the communities. I'm still looking at all of our internal communications, because I don't, it's time to go home, but I don't want to yet, because that's how much I love to be here. And I feel like I started, so the experience has been great. I wanted to be a part of the AI game, especially the smart glasses game, long before I started here. It actually started in about 2019. I was, in a nutshell, very short, I was working, doing an internship at the Institute for the Blind. It was an in-person internship. Part of my job was teaching technologies, and part of my job was supervising workshop participants. One day there was a workshop, somebody came in, brought in a pair of smart glasses. I don't remember which brand. They let everybody try it. I happened to blend in with the participants, and they thought that I was a participant and not a staff member. And they said, "You want 5 minutes to play with this thing?" And I played with it. And I got, for the first time, the feeling of being able to hold something up in front of the camera to read. And then, it just like I really went home that night and I gave back the pair of smart glasses to the person. And I said to myself that one day I want to be a part of this game. But it was just like a it was a faraway thought that lasted for about maybe an hour because I thought, yeah, but I'm a teacher of assistive tech. I don't know anything about AI and, probably, and also these places are not local. So probably I thought to myself, it's not possible for me to work with remotely because I'm as far away as I can get from the places that make smart glasses. So maybe I'll just be happy looking at tutorials. But look, I did. I kept looking at Envision's tutorials. I kept looking at all the other tutorials that of smart glasses just because I wanted one, even though I knew I couldn't get one. And I was imagining, how would I teach somebody how to use smart glasses? Maybe one day I might be able to do it. And fast forward, I'm here, but somewhere in between, I got to work with with AI in another way. When the library that I worked at, I don't know what they did after I left the library, but they were doing this project where you could use a smart speaker to listen to their audiobooks for people who can only talk to things. And they were like putting their whole collection on the smart speaker. So you could say like, so and so play this book after adding it as a skill or something. And then, that function would be on, and then it would pull up their book. So I got really into that, and I was writing the user guides for that. And, and that's when I knew that this was the world that I wanted to be in. Anything to do with AI, but especially to do with smart glasses, because I have a problem with being able to take my phone like this and, point it at things. By the time I manage to do that, I will already have gotten or no longer need the help that I want. So I wanted to be able to take something, hold something in front of my face just roughly, because approximation and me get along really well, but not exactness. And so I just wanted to be able to like hold something up in front of me and have something, anything, tell me how to move the paper up or down, left or right, or turn my head or move it up and down, and something to tell me how to take that accurate picture. And when I saw that Envision was able to do that with the glasses, I was just like, this is what I need to use. And then, I'm so happy that I'm here now. Fast forwards many, many, many hours away. And I every day get to teach, every time somebody comes in for a demo, I get to teach all of the and demonstrate all the features to people. And I just get to see how happy they are when they find out what the glasses are able to do for them.
That's awesome. And Joe, and has there been any sort of memorable moments of interactions that you have had so far, like in like demos that you did, or in the engagement you've been doing with the community? Is there something that stands out as a moment where you either explained the technology to somebody and they were very impressed by it? Like, is there anything that's off the top of your head that stands out as a memory?
Yeah, there's lots of things there's lots of times where I call it like when I used to teach, I called it a light bulb moment, where you show someone something and they're like, I need that because I can use it for this. And I can just remember the first time it happened to me when I was showing somebody, it's on one of our videos, it's somebody who said, okay, so what can I use describe scene for? And I said, oh well, it describes the environment in front of you, but what it also does is helps you get access to objects that you might not know about. And I held up my water bottle and I showed it to them and I said, this is my water bottle. It's got measurement indicators on the side. And you can use describe scene to take a picture of it, and then you can then ask questions to give you further details about how full the water bottle is, or what the measurement indicators are. And so this person, before I showed them that, they were kind of like, they weren't sure how they could use the feature. And they were just like, I don't really know how it's going to fit into my life because I know my environment already. What else can it do? And when I showed them that, they went and thought right away about how they could use their own measuring cups or water bottles. And they said, then I don't need to buy anything that's specially made. I can just grab anything that's mainstream, because my water bottle it didn't have anything special about it. And then their mind went to, I can get a measuring cup and get, and just see what the indicators are and how much it has been filled without having to buy specially designed measuring spoons or cups for baking or cooking. So immediately they went to thinking about other ways that they could use the feature. And I think that was the most rewarding. And the other thing that I could think of was pretty much that, the other day I had a demo. It was a mom who was totally blind, and she had her child with her, and the child was in her lap, and she was about 4 years old. She was old enough to look at a camera and talk a little bit, and the kid was sighted. And every time I explained the feature, the mom wasn't able to look at the camera, but the little kid was like her interpreter. She would look at the camera and go, "She's holding the paper up. And what's that? Mommy, what's that?" It would be like every single time I was explaining it. It was a distraction for the parent, I could tell, but for me, it was just cute to actually see that somebody so little was already getting exposed to technology, and that's great.
Wow. No, that is amazing. And I think we have spoken about the past and we've been talking about the present, but now that you've already had a glimpse of the future with what AI and the whole assistant thing that we're working on can do, if you extrapolate from that, right? Like if I ask you to, just like a dream a little bit, what do you think is the direction this whole thing is heading into? Like, what's in your opinion this technology going to look like in, say, next like 2 to 5 years?
It will look like what I've always wanted to have, which is a friend that's with me all the time, a virtual friend, because nobody can be with anyone forever and ever for a long time. So if we can have, a simulation of that, or as close to something like that as we can get, and that's what I like about the conversational or personable part about the assistant, where you can, create a character for it. That to me will be what I would want it to have if I dreamt about it, because it'd be something that you could always turn on. It would be on your glasses sitting there, and you could hold it up something and say, "What is this?" And what does this say, or what's this about? And they would, like any person would, give you the help that you need. And yeah, that's what I think that I would like it to have. Just like something that you could have conversations with. Um, Everybody is always, telling me and my family that, "Oh, you're talking to your, whatever again," when I'm asking it to play music or something, and they think I'm talking to them, but I'm not. I'm talking to my own, friend that's out there that they don't know about until they go, "Oh, you're talking to your AI assistant." So, I have dreams of, if anybody has not seen the movie Tau, TAU, it's on Netflix. It's a movie that features an AI assistant who runs a smart home, and that's my other dream. So my dream for the assistant is for it to be something like a virtual, not an assistant, but a friend that you can carry around with you to help you out in your needs.
Awesome. Thank you, Daksha. I think that's a great a description of like the future, and we're very excited here at Envision, of course, as you know, and I think that's the direction we are also trying to work towards. So yeah, I think that kind of a future is closer than like what most people think. But I do want to thank you for your time and and having this conversation with us. We will do a quick under the hood session now with KK, but then stick around. We have a Q&A that will happen, and I'm pretty sure there are people in the audience who do want to ask a lot of like questions to you. So yeah, just
Yeah.
stick around till the end, and yeah, I would like to thank you again for just coming on here.
Yeah. Thanks, Karthik.
All right. So with that, quickly handing the reins to Karthik Kanan, our CTO, to talk to us about what's happening in the labs on the basement of Envision.
I also look like I'm basically working out of a basement right now with my dishevelled hair and everything else. But yeah, there's a lot actually going on at Envision right now. So one thing, I mean, there are a couple of things that I think are very interesting to share. The first thing is, of course, we've been working on a new version of our layout detection. It's been in the works for quite some time, and every time we think of putting it out, there's something new that we encounter that we think would be great for us to add to layout detection as well. But we're going to be launching that very soon, hopefully in the coming month. And that will basically mean that people who are using the Envision glasses and on the latest passes or on the professional edition will be able to now read tables with the Envision glasses, will be able to get captions of images if the document contains an image, and they'll also be able to go ahead and interpret graphs and charts and those kind of things as well, right? So if you have a document, could be a PowerPoint slide, could be any a textbook that you're reading, and you scan them with the Envision glasses, you will be able to go ahead and get a description of a table. It'll read it out to you the way you get it with like voiceover or talkback or JAWS. It will give you a description of any images, and if there are charts that are there in the textbook or the document you're reading, it'll go ahead and try to explain that to you and break it down for you as well. And of course, you can ask follow-up questions about the stuff that you just scanned. So that's one thing that we're going to be releasing quite soon. And when it does come out, we'll have demos to share with you all, and want you to get feedback on that. Another really important thing that we're working on, I think some of them are already aware of, is we're working on a completely new product here at Envision, which we're super excited to share with you in the second half of the year. I think Charmaine spoke a little about it, building AI that is a friend for you, that you can put in your pocket and carry around and be able to use anywhere and everywhere. That's something that we're also working on right now. That's where majority of our focus is going into, and hopefully we'll be able to share a lot more about that in the coming weeks. So those are the two big things that are there. The new layout detection is going to be coming very soon to the glasses, so do look out for it. And I'm super excited for you all to try it and see where it goes. So back to Ria.
Thank you so much, Karthik. And Charmaine, it was really nice to hear, about your previous experience and, how you kind of manifested your way into working in AI for accessibility. It's really nice to hear. And I'll keep learning from all the creative ways you're demonstrating these features. So now I want to open the floor for questions. So yes, please raise your hand and we will get to your question.
Cool. So there are three ways to ask a question. You can either raise your hands and then we bring you onto the panel, and then you can talk to us and our team and ask us your question right here. You can also use the Q&A feature that Zoom has and just ask us your question there, and we will answer them. If you're watching on us on YouTube, there's also the option to ask us these questions from the comment section of the YouTube also. Let me answer some of the questions that are already in the Q&A section. There is a question from Yusuf who asks, good afternoon, are there any plans to add ability to save the photographs taken using the Envision glasses? Yes, Yusuf, that's definitely something we have been considering. If there should be an option for people to just save the photos that they've been taking. It's in the roadmaps. We'll definitely I want to work on it. Once we are done with some of the updates that we are currently working on. But yeah, it's been something that we have been getting a lot of requests about. So yes, it is something that is in the work. I have a question from like a Gary who says, I use Ira and my employer is built for my personal use. Are you working on this with Ira? We have been speaking with Ira about this. There is a plan in place for Ira to uh, sort of build this into the agents, a dashboard where as soon as you make a call, you can inform the agent whether this is a personal call or a professional call, and they will be able to make the profile switch for you. So it is something that we are engaging with Ira on. We don't have a timeline for when will they be able to build this into their a dashboard, but that's definitely something that's been put on their roadmap, and as soon as we have update on this, we will let you know. But for now, yeah, I think as soon as you do make a call to an IRA agent, just ask them if it's possible for them to do this, and if they can, they will do it. If not, that is something that will be solved pretty soon. I have a question from Isa, who is asking how much is the Envision the glasses. Isa, Envision glasses, we have 3 different editions of it. There's the Read, Home, and the Professional edition, and the pricing is actually different depending on the region that you're from. So I would strongly encourage you to go to letsenvision.com/shop, and you will have all the pricing info there in the currency of the region that you're from. Then there is a question who's asked, are you planning to make the glasses to be used independently from the phone? So the glasses do operate independently of the phone. The glasses are not tied to the phone in order for them to be used. You can actually like use the glasses without having to have like a phone around. We do have a pairing process with the phone, and we do that mainly because there are some tasks and like functions that are easier to do on a phone than on on the glasses, right? For example, if you want to enter the password for a Wi-Fi, then it's easier to do it on your phone. If you want to add a friend of yours as as a companion whom you actually want to call, all of those things are easier on the phone. For example, if you want to take a picture of somebody's face and save it, that's easier to do on the phone than the glasses. So because it's easier to do a few tasks on the phone, that's the reason why we have like the companion app on the phone for people to work with. But for the everyday use of the glasses, you don't really have to have like your phone around. It's an independent device, so once it is a setup, it does work entirely independently. All right, then let me bring on our first panelist on to have a conversation with us. I want to bring on Rick Hodkins.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, hi Rick, we can hear you loud and clear.
I'm from Citrus Heights, California, and that's in the state of California in the county of Sacramento. You might have heard of the city of Sacramento. Sacramento is California's capital, and I'm in the county of Sacramento. And this is a carryover question from last month's Envision webinar that we had on the 26th or the 27th of June, rather, 1 week before our country celebrated its Independence Day. And Garthik, you might remember this question from last month, my question about whether or not Envision glasses will ever have GPS capabilities. I asked that question because I don't know if anyone on the webinar today is from California, but if there are, you are aware. Is anyone aware California has a homelessness problem? So if you are in a place where you need the help of IRA, I was hoping that the person that was in the background where I'm at was in the room, because IRA stands for Artificial Intelligent Remote Assistance. And in some cases, IRA will not be able to help you unless you have your phone, because your iPhone, hang on, Magda, listen to this. IRA stands for Artificial Intelligent Remote Assistance, and I could use my Envision glasses to seek help from them, given and provided that they know where I'm at. Otherwise, I'd have to take my phone out. In some cases, I fear taking my phone out because I'm afraid a homeless person will come up and snatch it away. So it's more or less a comment, not a question. So I just wanted to, I hope this doesn't take years or centuries, but for Ira's benefit as well as for my benefit, we need to have hopefully one of the future software updates sooner than later will have GPS capabilities without having to change out the Ira glasses unit, because a homeless person will come up to you on the street and snatch it away. Thank you.
Yes, like I think we definitely identify and understand like the issue here. But I think that like a limitation here is a hardware one. Like the hardware doesn't have a GPS, a chip in it. So we are like a limited because of that and that's the reason we are unable to have a GPS functionality within the glasses, right? If it was a doable, we would have already done it. The only way is that there is a workaround, a way where you can start the call on your phone to an AI agent and then transition the call to the classes. That was the workaround that we were working on, but we hit some roadblocks in there, and right now there isn't enough of a bandwidth on either side to like solve this. But that's the only a workaround. Like there isn't a workaround, unfortunately, where you can have the GPS or the location being shared without taking your phone out. Because the glasses don't have a built-in GPS, the only a workaround we can have is that is using like your phone as a way to transmit the location, and like using the glasses as a way to transmit the video. That's the workaround that we have, but it's not an easy one. So we are in constant conversation with Ira about it. And I'll let you know as soon as it is solved. But yeah, we do definitely understand and identify the issues and the situations where like a feature like this could definitely be very, very useful.
Okay, because now if I'm walking around the streets of downtown Sacramento or San Francisco, it's clear that I don't need GPS. My other concern is if I'm up on a mountain going sledding or tobogganing, that type of thing. But still, I just wanted to make sure that you're aware that there's a homeless issue, and many of us may not feel comfortable taking our phones out. So I'm glad that you're in talks with Ira to resolve it. How do you plan to resolve? I guess you might say that the only question I have remaining is how are you planning to resolve this issue? If it is a hardware issue, are you saying that we may have to change out the unit? Because I already have a unit purchased and I have it right now as we speak. Thank you.
Yeah, so it's not something that we can fix from a hardware standpoint. We cannot put a GPS a unit on, because we don't really control the hardware aspect here. The only way is the workaround, a way that I spoke, where the phone is the one that will transmit the location. So that's what we can work on in the short term. There might be some more ingenious way to transmit a location from a Wi-Fi itself, but we don't have any more leads on that. But yeah, I think in the short term, the workaround is to use a phone to transmit the location, and the glasses to to transmit the video. Apart from that, we at the moment I do not really have an answer as to how else can we solve this from a hardware standpoint.
How do you propose to in the future is my question. Thanks again, and sorry for being long-winded.
Yeah, no. I think in the future, I think if there is a new piece of hardware that we are transition to, which has GPS capability, so that is one of the bigger requirements that we have for whichever is the hardware we would probably want to transition to next, that they should have a GPS ability in there. So that's probably the way to solve it for good. But yeah, like at the moment we still are evaluating a bunch of different hardwares. We don't really have a hardware to transition to in the short term, but in the long term, definitely a better the hardware which does have a GPS is the solution.
Would that mean switching out the glasses I have?
It would mean like, so eventually if there is a new piece of hardware available which has GPS capabilities, that would mean upgrading to that hardware.
That would probably mean I would work with Silicon Valley if I were you. You've already worked, you're already collaborated with Silicon Valley in terms of Google Glass, but if you have to collaborate with maybe Apple or that whomever there is, whoever does GPS software to incorporate that hardware, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, no, definitely. You're talking to a lot of different parties right now. So yeah, like you're always open for a collaboration. In that part. Thank you, Rick. I hope that answered your question. Appreciate you coming on, and I hope you have a good day ahead. Thank you. The next person I will bring on would be a Piers Hurst. Hi, Piers. You can unmute yourself and ask us your question. Hi, Piers. You can unmute yourself and ask us your question.
There we go.
Yep. Hi, how are you doing today?
All right. So basically what I was wanting to ask is, with these Envision glasses, they're what expensive? They're $2,400 for the home edition, and I think it was $3,000 for the professional.
Mhm.
For those of us who are not very, I say, affluent, how would you think about getting those glasses?
Yeah. Yeah, no, we do understand that aspect appears like because there is a piece of a hardware involved here, which is you're not being a manufactured at scale. There is a price point that is a prohibitive. But we do do like a lot to offset that like cost as much as possible. Depending on the like a region that you're with, we do like work with a lot of local authorities. For example, in the US, we work a lot with a lot of like VA, like the Veterans Association, to be able to offset the costs for them. We work with with like DORs, Department of like Rehab, to offset the like the cost of these glasses to them. In like Europe, we do work with a lot of health insurance companies and local authorities to subsidize the cost as much as we can with them. So yeah, there's a lot of initiatives that we have that is going on that can help offset the price either entirely or to a sufficient degree. So if you can reach out to us with more information about where you're based, we will be able to send you some information on the options that you can potentially explore for that.
All right.
All right, yes, thank you so much for coming on and asking your questions. Next, I'll bring on Joseph Marks. Joseph, you can unmute yourself and ask us your question. Hey, Joseph, can you hear us?
Audio now muted. Hello?
Yeah, hi, Joseph.
Okay, sorry about that.
Always.
Good afternoon. So I had two questions. One about kind of like the present, and then both about kind of the present, and then one about what you brought up about the future.
Mhm.
The one about the present is when we talk about the described scene. If I were in front, as an example, if I were in front of a restaurant or a store, and I was on like the curb line, would the assistant be able to tell me, even if it's not happening right now, at some point with an update to the described scene, would it be able to tell me like the proximity that I am away from the entrance, like as like a follow-up question? Like if I said, okay, it says I'm in front of the restaurant, so I've confirmed that. if I were to ask about how far away is the entrance from where I'm standing, would it potentially be able to say it's about 10 feet?
Yeah, so it is already able to like do that. That is something you can already ask as a follow-up a question to a described scene. It'll of course give you like an estimate. So
Mhm.
it is going to estimate based on like the image that it has. So yeah, it won't be accurate, but yeah, it will be accurate in terms of it'll be like a few feet away from the thing. But because we're not going to have some sort of like a lidar or a laser, it won't be accurate to the point, but accurate enough for you to have a sense of how far you're from like the entrance, for example.
Okay. And then my next question has to do with some of the partners that you guys have been dealing. And I was curious because of some of them that you guys are partnered with. When I activate the Envision AI assistant, like, do I have to do similar to like a Google assistant on my phone and, say Envision, open Be My Eyes, or Google AI Envision, open Good Maps or something? Or will it process those things, those partners, and the tools as I need them?
Yeah. So there are two aspects. So as of now, on the glasses, we have the voice command. So you can just open up the voice commands and just ask it to open the features. So that's what we have now. But as we start to transition, like more towards this assistant like concept, then basically the idea is the only thing you will engage with would be the assistant. So you can just simply ask the assistant to open up the different features, or you can simply ask the assistant for like what is it that you're looking for, and the assistant will figure out exactly which is the feature to open for that, right? For example, you can simply say something like, "Hey assistant, I want to scan this document." Then it knows that it automatically has to open the scan document feature, and it will start scanning the document for you already. So that's the kind of stuff that you can do with it going forward. So yeah, but as of now, it's just like you have to activate a voice command to open the features. But yeah, eventually the idea is that you just interact with a single assistant, which has a simple interface, and you just need to ask for whatever it is that you're looking for, and the assistant will just figure out exactly which feature to like call for that.
And that's something you guys are working on down the road.
Yes.
Okay. And then for my future, because you brought up a very interesting point, and Charlene kind of brought it up too. And for me, it's a matter of having the future is for me, hopefully looks like not just a friend, but like a person virtually or digitally being like my eyes, like being able to say, okay, good morning, and what are we going to do today, and kind of being like in a conversational piece where, like you're explaining with the last question, having just the assistant be able to know what tool to use. So my question to you is, do you feel like um, AI, because especially with what I know, some of the updates so far is that you guys are lowering the response time for the AI to respond. So at that point, it'll feel like a conversational piece. Um, do you think in the next 2 to 3 years, something like this, where it could be a digital or virtual assistant that is essentially my eyes? It's day to day, I wake up, I could put the glasses on, and I could use the feedback as kind of like my sight guide.
Yeah, no, I think that's exactly the future that we are trying to build, right? And I think it's actually going to be possible a lot sooner than like 2 3 years. There's been a lot of developments that's been happening around a generative AI and speech technology and the kind of processing that's going on, and Envision has been at the forefront of that. So there's a lot that's possible, John, now that was like thought of being very difficult or almost impossible a few years back. So you already have a conversational assistant that you can just have a to and fro with. The latency is super low, so you can just like ask a question and like almost as a conversation, it comes back with an answer, and you can have that companion kind of building like blocks. That's what we are currently are working on. There is a beta that we have of an app called Envision Assistant. If you would, if you want, you can also sign up for that a beta at the moment. If you simply go to envision-assistant.com, you will be able to sign up for a beta of that application, and that's basically what we're building. Is you are built for yourself an assistant. You offer the assistant some information about you. You talk to the assistant about stuff you like, stuff you don't like, and it stores and remembers all of that, all of that information. And in addition to that, you can also offer the assistant a personality. So you can be like, hey, I want you to like talk to me like Alfred from like Batman, for example, or I want you to have a personality that is very straightforward and like to the point, or I want you to actually have a sense of like humor and just so you can basically define the personality of both the assistant and also offer it more of a context about you, so that then when you're having a conversation with it, it has all of this like context to actually have a rich and insightful conversation with you. So that's what Envision is a building, and I think that is the future that we are strongly working on. So yeah, I think it's going to be here a lot sooner than you think. Our timeline is that it's going to be ready for a production, a launch in a couple of your months. That's what we are like working with. But if you're already interested in a sneak peek, then we definitely encourage you to sign up for a beta of Envision Assistant.
So the follow-up to that is, will any of these advancements in the software, because the first thing I'm thinking about is battery life. Like, would there be ever a conversation? Because I think I'm not entirely sure what the battery life of an Envision AI glasses cell is, as far as hours, but would there ever be a conversation of like extending how or giving like a charger for the Envision glasses that would fast charge?
Yeah. Yeah, that's already a possibility, right? So with Envision glasses, you get about 5 to 6 hours of your battery life with average use. And it does have on the back of the glasses, it has a USB-C port. So a lot of our users who do want to like use the glasses for like beyond 6 hours a day, at a go, they do hook up like a charger that's connected from that to like power bank in their like 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 pocket, because it is a USB like C charger. You can just like put any a USB-C a cable that's long enough, and you can actually have a power bank in your pocket, so you can definitely extend that life of your battery pretty significantly. So yeah, that's definitely something that is totally doable.
Thank you.
Thanks, like Joseph. I appreciate you coming on and asking us your question. I hope you have a good day. All right, let me go back to the Q&A and answer some of the questions from there. Actually, before that, let me check the YouTube comments. There's a question from a blind Richie on a YouTube who says, when will glasses read like playing cards? This is something that's already doable, Richie. If you and this is something that's doable within the describe scene itself. Earlier, we were thinking of building this as a separate feature, but now if you just open up a describe scene and just hold up the card in your hand, it will give you like a detailed description of exactly what hand is it that you're holding. So that's something that the glasses can already do. There is another question which says, will there ever be a feature on Envision glasses that is call an AI, or that's where the assistant will come in? I think that's exactly what the assistant is for. You will be able to make a call and have a conversation with an AI, and you can basically ask anything, right? This is a general AI which has information about everything. So you can just just like make a call to the assistant and be like, hey, can you tell me a story about space and like war, right? So it can sort of it will be able to tell you a bedtime story that you want, or you can actually ask it to ask you a puzzle, right? It can do that for you. You can also ask it to be like, hey, I want to play a quiz game. Can you prepare for me a questions around a baseball and just ask me your stuff like trivia about that. So all of that is what you can actually do with assistance. It's not just limited to you asking for information about stuff around you, which of course you can do with a great degree of ease, but you can also just treat it as your actual ally, as a friend, and you can do all this fun conversational stuff as well. And that's what a lot of our like beta testers have been doing, and the responses have been surprising and hilarious. There is a question on YouTube as well, which is Envision glasses with a ChatGPT or other assistant available in India? Yes, Envision glasses are available in India, and this assistant feature, whenever it comes to production, will also be on the glasses. So it is available across the world. So you can simply order from our online web shop, and we do ship all over the world at the moment. Okay, there is a question on the Q&A. There's a question from Luke who asked, would it be possible to implement a feature to quickly recognize the page numbers in a book? After reading the table of contents, it would be nice if you could quickly go to the right page. I'm thinking what would be the best way to do it. I think maybe you can use instant a text for it, which is a lot more instantaneous in the way it reads with scan text, especially because we're trying to use a powerful AI to be able to read text very accurately. There is a bit of a latency involved there. But if you're just interested in the page number, and if you know where in the book roughly the page number is, maybe just opening up like that part to the instant text, that could be a quick way like read it. But that's something you will have to experiment for yourself and see if it actually is going to work the way you want it to. There is a question from Issa who says, when are we going to have Envision AI for like Windows? We are working on a web version. That's probably going to be the one that will come out first. Then maybe a Windows version down the line. But yeah, we'll definitely have a web version of Envision in the works at the moment. There is a question from Giovanni who says, can you make the TTS can you make sure that the TTS would not be stopped when my question displays shut off, eventually virtual, in case I would like to save my battery? Giovanni, I don't think I understand your question properly. Yeah, maybe if you could jump on the panel and ask it. I don't think I understand the question well enough to be able to answer it. All right, like there's a question from Angelo who's asking, are you looking at other glasses? Yes, we are definitely looking at other glasses as well. Nothing we have made a decision on yet. There's anonymous a question that says, do I understand correctly that the voice assistant is only in English for now? Yes, it's currently only in English, but we do have like localization that will be coming in soon. There is already like a way to talk to it in other languages, but it's not just like a foolproof way, but a localization to assistant is on its way, and it will be there before we are actually out of a beta and ready for a production launch. Then there is a question from Chris who asks, can I upgrade to a professional version? Yes, Chris, it's possible to upgrade your glasses from from any edition to any other edition. You can do that very simply on our online shop. So if you go to shop.letsenvision.com, you can purchase an upgrade like from home to a professional edition, and then it is something that's very much doable. Then Appears asks, can I play poker with these glasses? Yes, you totally can. Like I said, the glasses are able to read your hands out to you, so you can actually just pair the glasses to a pair of AirPods or a Bluetooth earphones if you do want the extra bit of like privacy, because you don't want to like show your hands to the people around you. But yeah, if you do that, the glasses will be able to tell you exactly what are the hands that you're holding, and you will be able to play like poker with it very, very easily. Then a Yusuf asks, do you have any plans to add Envision Assistant to Envision glasses? Yes, that's totally the plan. The idea with Envision Assistant is that it will be there in as many different pieces of hardware as possible. We want it to be like an assistant that's not really limited by a hardware. So it's available on your phone, it's available on the glasses, it's available on the web, it's available wherever you want it to be available. That's the plan with Envision Assistant. There's a lot of hands. We might not have time to get to everybody because we're already over the hour, but I'm going to bring in a few more. So let me bring in a James. John, you can unmute yourself and ask us your question.
Good morning. I'm John from Shreveport, Louisiana, and I'm an assistive technology. And I had some ideas about some of the stuff that you probably could add to the vision glasses. I don't know, it may be already in the pipeline. LiDAR. Had you all considered adding LiDAR to the glasses to help a blind person to be able to navigate in the environment? I want to ask a question for the first guy you spoke to. He was concerned about his phone being snatched, but if he got some open ear headset, he could use his phone without taking it out of his pocket and have the glasses on. But I wanted to know about the LiDAR, and also I have an app called PixieBot that I can actually take a video shot, a 40-second video shot, and it explain in detail everything in that video. Would y'all be able to possibly add that to the glasses?
Yeah.
In the future.
So something like a LiDAR is something that would be great, but yeah, like it is like a hardware decision. I think it'll definitely be like welcome from us, but because Envision doesn't make the hardware ourselves, we're currently partnered with a Google for the Google Glass that we use. So we don't really have that much of a control over adding components to the hardware. But yeah, like I think there definitely are advantages of having something like a LiDAR on the glasses. But that being said, it also does come with some drawbacks, as in it'll add more to the weight of the glasses. It will drain the battery more. So there is both the pros and the cons. But yeah, like super excited to see if there are people in the market who are going to be building smart glasses which will have a LiDAR on them. And yeah, I think being able to process our videos is definitely interesting and on the horizon for us as well. There's a lot of tech that makes it available to do that at pretty high speeds. I think for us it's about that. It's about trade-off between latency and like processing. So being able to process a video and explain the contents of a video would definitely be interesting, as long as we can do it at a fast speed and on the processes of the glasses. So yeah, definitely something that that is very actively being worked on at the labs of Envision.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, John. Thank you for coming on. I hope you have a good day. I want to bring on Robert Sweetman on, like a Bob Sweetman. You can unmute yourself and ask us your question.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, Bob, we can. How are you doing?
I'm real good. I'm working with a customer who is interested in the Envision glasses, and they want to know if they will be able, with the current version of Envision glasses, to ask it questions with their voice.
That's definitely something that is already a doable within the described scene. You can just ask it a question about things within a described scene. It doesn't necessarily have to be a question about the image. That's sort of the hack. But the whole assistant thing that Envision is working on, which will be available in a couple of months, then in that you can actually have the conversational aspect where you can actually ask a question about anything and then actually have a to and fro with the assistant. That's still in the works. But as of now, with the describe scene, we already have Ask Envision, where you can actually ask anything and it will be able to answer all of those things for you.
Oh, yes, I've done that. So, but then when you're in the, they were wondering if they could actually have a conversation in the AI portion of it where they can ask the questions.
Yeah. So as of now, it's not a continuous kind of a conversation. So you ask a question and then it'll give you an answer, and then you have to ask a new question again. So that's basically how it works right now.
Uh-huh.
To have a to and fro kind of a conversation, that's in the works, and that's what we will introduce when we introduce the assistant on the glasses.
Oh, fantastic. And that would be in the fairly near future?
Yeah, that will be a new feature that we'll be pushing out. That's what is in the works. Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob. All right. I'm going to take more questions. I'm gonna have Jamila Mubarak come on the panel. Jamila, you can unmute yourself and ask us your question.
Yes, thank you. I'm so overwhelmed, but I'll try to remember what my questions were. My first question is I'm trying to understand if you add a software feature, is that an upgrade to your if to my iOS, like my iPhone, is that an upgrade? And if you add a hardware feature, then I need to replace my glasses and get a new edition. I'm just trying to. Do you understand my question?
Yeah, I think I do. So as of now, for the Envision glasses, we just have a piece of hardware. So that hardware is the Google Glass that we have with the Envision's software in it. So that's the only piece of the hardware that we have. We don't have any upgrades to the hardware as of now.
Yeah, but all of the questions that the consumers are asking, it sounds like something that you would be working on as a hardware feature. So if you're able to innovate that, does that mean that it would require a new pair of glasses, a new purchase of glasses?
Yes, so Envision doesn't build the hardware ourselves. So our primary focus is on like the software, and then we partner with other other like hardware partners in order to deploy our software through like hardware that is made by a third party. So we are always looking to actually have a new partners on board. So as in when that happens, we will definitely offer a more options of hardwares to the customers, and then they can always choose to upgrade to a new hardware that we eventually will partner with.
So is the software upgrades to your glasses, or is that as an additional cost as an accessory?
So like the software updates, if you have the Read or the Home edition, we offer free updates to the software for the first a year after your purchase. So after you have made a purchase, you get all the software updates for free for the first year after that. And then after that is when you need to pay an annual subscription in order to receive software updates on the glasses. This is just for the update, so you will still be able to use all the features and functions that are in the glasses on the day of the purchase and everything that was released a year after. All of that will still continue to operate and to work. It's just whatever is a new that we make after the first year. That's what you will have to pay for if you wish to do so. If you buy a professional edition, then you get unlimited updates to your software. So if you buy a professional edition, then you don't need to purchase like a subscription for updates. You will always get updates for the lifetime of your hardware.
Okay, and my last question is the voice. Like if I'm in a meeting, I'm just trying to figure out how am I going to keep my device charged in such a way that I don't have to find an outlet to plug in my device. The young man said something about a portable battery that can fit in your pocket. I get that part. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to hear and other people around me is not listening to my conversation.
Got it. So when you have the glasses on, so these glasses actually have a directional speaker in them, right? So it's located just above your like right ear, and the way they work is they sort of like pipe the sound into your ears. So it's very loud and clear for like you as the wearer of the glasses, but for the people around you, it's more like a muffled kind of a sound, which is not very clear to them. So that's how most people use it, because it offers them to keep their ears free while still actually having all the information be spoken out to them. But if you're in like a silent kind of a place, like a library or somewhere where you do want the glasses to not make any sound, you can hook them up to a pair of AirPods or a Bluetooth headphones, and then all the audio will be spoken out like through that. So then the people around you will not be able to hear it at all.
Okay, thank you. I yield to someone else.
Thank you, Jamila. With that, I will bring on the last person on the panel, which will be Angela. Angela, you can unmute yourself and ask us your question.
Okay. Hello. Okay. I had a couple questions.
Yes, Angela.
Okay. One of them, I've used the app to scan documents, and I always have trouble with my iPhone on scanning documents with the app. Now, if I get the glasses and I scan the app or scan a document, will it do it a lot simpler, or will it say edge is not visible? That's what I have trouble with. Edge is not visible, and it wouldn't scan.
Got it. I think it might do a slightly a better job, because with the glasses, what you do is like you put on the glasses and then you just hold the document in your hand, and then it becomes easier to like like crop the document, ignoring all the clutter that probably is around. So we do have people who do say they get a better experience of scanning a document with the glasses as opposed to their phones. But of course, every experience is a subjective and individual. So if that is something you are like considering, you can always just order these glasses and just like give it a try. We do have a 30-day return period on all the glasses, so that's what we recommend to everybody. If you think this might be something for you, but you're not entirely sure, you can always order the glasses and just make use of the 30-day like return policy. And if it's not the right tool for you, you can always return them and you get a full refund on the cost of the glasses.
And what's the difference between the home version and the pro version of the glasses?
So with the home edition, you get all the software updates of the glasses for free for the first a year of the glasses. And from the second year onwards, you will have to pay a $200 subscription in order to receive software updates. With the professional edition, you get unlimited updates to your software, so you don't have to pay anything additional at any point. You will always get updates to your software as and when we have them. That's the first difference. And the second difference is the warranty. With a home edition, you get a 1 year of a warranty on the hardware. With a professional edition, you get a 2 year of the warranty on the hardware. And the third difference is with home edition, you only get the standard your titanium frame, which is just the standard frame that we offer with the glasses. With the professional edition, you will get an additional like frame which have the capability to hold lenses in them if you do need to have like lenses with your glasses.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
All right, Angela, thank you so much. And that's all the time we have on this webinar, everyone. I still see some hands out there, but yeah, like we'll not be able to get to everybody today. We're already over the hour, so I do appreciate all of you for taking the time out and coming on, on the webinar. If you still have a question that that has not been answered, always feel free to send us an email to support@letsenvision.com, and our team will be more than happy to answer your questions as quickly as we can. But for now, I wish all of you a pleasant day ahead. We will be back next month with a whole bunch of more exciting updates. There's always something happening at Envision, so stay tuned to our socials, and I'll see you on the other side. Thank you so much and have a great day.